Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, strap in because what's happening right now in the NFL, specifically in the NFC North, is nothing short of historic. Rumors and insider buzz are swirling around, and the Packers are at the heart of this seismic shift. It's about defense, it's about strategy, and it's about making a statement to the rest of the league that Green Bay isn't just here to compete, but to dominate. And it all centers around a game-changing trade that has sent shockwaves through the NFL landscape. We're talking about the New York Jets, a team currently struggling with a 0-5 record and a cap situation that's forcing them to make some tough decisions, especially on their defensive line. They're trading away a star, Quinnen Williams, one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the league, to the Green Bay Packers. Yes, you heard that right. Quinnen Williams, the All-Pro from Alabama, the guy who's been a force all over the field, is heading to Lambeau Field, and that's a move that could redefine the Packers' season and their future. Now, let's talk about Williams for a moment because this isn't just any player. Since being drafted in 2019, Williams has established himself as one of the elite interior defensive linemen in the league. In 2024, he's been spectacular, posting 12 sacks, which puts him in the top 5 among defensive tackles, and 15 tackles for loss, showing his ability to disrupt plays behind the line of scrimmage. His EPA per snap, which measures his overall impact, is plus 0.20, making him one of the most efficient players at his position. His PFF grade is an impressive 91, ranking third among all interior linemen, and his hurry rate hovers around 16%, placing him in the top 8 league-wide for getting pressure on quarterbacks. What makes Williams even more valuable is his double-team rate, about 35%, which means offenses are forced to dedicate multiple blockers to contain him, freeing up other players on the Jets' defensive line and secondary. In 2025, Williams continues to impress, with 18 solo tackles, ranking him around 20th among defensive tackles, and 3 sacks, placing him in the top 10. He also has a forced fumble and a win rate of 22%, which is among the best in the league. His yards after contact allowed are just 2.1 yards per tackle, demonstrating his ability to bring down opponents quickly and efficiently. If you saw his performance in Week 3 against the Patriots, you know he was unstoppable: 5 tackles, a sack, and a plus 0.19 EPA per rush. Over his career, Williams has accumulated 45 sacks, 70 tackles for loss, and 280 pressures, with only 5% missed tackles, which is elite. His injury history includes a shoulder injury in 2025 that cost him a single game, but overall, he's been remarkably durable and productive. Comparing him to a peak Aaron Donald, Williams excels in gap penetration, winning about 70% of his one-on-one battles, and has an EPA against the run of minus 0.15, making him a nightmare for offenses trying to run or pass. Now, why are the Jets making this move? Well, their current situation is pretty clear. They're not contending for the playoffs this year. Their odds of making the postseason are around plus 150,000 in the AFC East, which is basically a long shot. They're in rebuild mode, focusing on youth development, and that's why they're willing to part with a player of Williams' caliber. But it's not without risk. Losing Williams on the interior line means a drop in pressure generation, about 15%, similar to what happened with the Bears after trading Goldman, which hindered their pass rush and made their defense more vulnerable. The Jets are essentially tanking for the future, but that could come at a cost in the short term, especially with their defense, which allows an average of 31 points per game, ranking near the bottom of the league. Now, let's switch gears to the Packers, because this trade is a game changer for them. You see, Green Bay's interior defensive line has been a bit of a concern this season. After losing players like Devont Wyatt to injury, who is currently questionable for Week 7 with a knee issue, the Packers needed a boost inside. Enter Quinnen Williams. Bringing in a player of his caliber is like adding a titan to an already formidable fortress. And the impact is immediate. Imagine what Williams can do alongside Kenny Clark, who's been solid but could use a partner in crime. With Williams's presence, projections are showing the Packers could increase their sack total by around 8 sacks per season. That's a significant boost for a defense that's been trying to find its identity. More than that, this move is expected to drastically improve their run defense. Last year, the Packers allowed about 115 yards per game on the ground, which ranked them around 20th in the league. With Williams anchoring the interior, that number could drop to around 90 yards, moving Green Bay into the top run defenses. His ability to collapse the pocket and stuff gaps helps reduce big gains on the ground and puts opposing offenses into third-and-long situations more often. Plus, his presence should elevate the overall pressure rate and force quarterbacks into quicker decisions, helping the secondary and linebackers, like Preston Smith and Rashan Gary, become even more effective. Speaking of Gary, who had 6 sacks in 2025, pairing him with Williams creates a formidable duo that can dominate the line of scrimmage. The Packers are already a team that relies on strong front seven play, but adding Williams takes that to a whole new level. His impact isn't just about his raw stats, it's about how he frees up others and creates chaos for offenses. His projected plus 8 sacks per year, combined with his ability to reduce the yards allowed per rushing attempt and increase EPA versus the run, makes him an ideal fit for Green Bay's defensive scheme. That, in turn, supports the offensive side of the ball, giving quarterback Jordan Love more opportunities and less pressure, which could translate into more turnovers and extended drives. And this is where things get really exciting for the Packers. With Williams on board, their odds to win the Super Bowl have already shortened from plus 3,000 to plus 1,600. That's a huge jump, signaling that the betting markets see this move as a major step toward contention. The NFC North, which has been a bit of a mess this season, now has the Packers as the favorites with plus 150 odds. And that's not just about one player. It's about the message it sends to the entire league. Green Bay is here to stay, and they're serious about competing for a deep playoff run. They're loaded with talent on offense, especially with receivers like Christian Watson and a promising young quarterback in Jordan Love, who's showing steady improvement. But it's the defense, now bolstered by Williams, that could be the real difference maker, especially against elite running backs like Gibbs, where Williams's ability to stuff gaps and disrupt the run game will be crucial. The impact of having a player like Williams in Green Bay stretches beyond just the stats. It's about the mentality, the culture, and the message to the rest of the NFC that the Packers are back in the big picture. His addition could turn their defense from a middle-of-the-pack unit into a top-5 defense, making them a nightmare for opponents and a nightmare for offenses that want to run or pass with ease. The NFC North, which has seen the Lions and Vikings trying to establish dominance, now has a new heavyweight in town. Williams's ability to stuff the gaps and force offenses into uncomfortable third-down situations is exactly what Green Bay needed to elevate their game. Looking ahead, the playoff picture is getting even more intriguing. The Packers, with this defensive upgrade, are now considered genuine contenders. Their chances of making a deep run are much higher, and that plus 25% increase in defensive EPA versus top-tier running backs like Gibbs could be the key to unlocking their full potential. This move is a testament to the vision of the Packers front office, understanding that to win at the highest level, you need dominant defense inside, especially against teams that rely heavily on a strong rushing attack. As I wrap up, folks, I want you to think about what this means for the Packers moving forward. This isn't just about one trade, it's about a statement. It's about telling the league, we're here to contend, and we're willing to make bold moves to get there. Quinnen Williams' transition to Green Bay could very well be the catalyst for a new era of success, one where the Packers reclaim their place among NFL contenders, and where their defense, anchored by Williams and Clark, becomes legendary. The NFC North is about to get a whole lot more competitive, and Green Bay is leading the charge. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.